Hi there, Johnny Daniel, independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up! It is Wednesday, 7 o'clock. Are you ready to create? Are you ready to go? I hope so, because we got some fun stuff tonight. Hold on a sec, let me get the computer set so I can see comments and all that fun stuff. Maybe. I'm making sure I'm on too. Hold on a minute. Gotta love technology. 1 second. There we go. Alright, so let me know you're on. Let me know you're here. Yeah. So for tonight, couple things. For one, hey Pam, how are you? So for tonight, we are going to be doing a wobble card. Wobble, 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 wobble. Yes. Also known as a dancing card sometimes, also known as a spring card, because there's a spring in it, for lack of better terms. Let's see what else. That's all I got. So, by this Friday, if you have not decided to order the stamp set or a $25 order equivalent for the free class, just pay $7 shipping. You will get materials to make 6 cards and a box. Whew, I'm gonna be cutting for a minute, huh? So, if you would like that, please let me know. For my team, you need to email me if you have ordered from June 16th till now through the 8th. You need to email me the date you ordered, the product total, not the total, but the product total, because it has to be 25 or more. And what's the other thing? Order number. I was like, there's 3 things. Hold on. I'm gonna get there, I promise. So if you do that, you will be able to get the class for $7 as well and not order with me, but keep your business going. So that is one way I give back to my team. If you have not received it yet, team, I sent out a little gimme for staying active and saying thanks. So that should be coming to you in a nice, not shiny, but red envelope in the next day or so, really. Unless I goofed up on the stamp. I don't know. So, but that should happen any second. So be watching for that. So let's see. Should we get going? I hope so, right? If you're local with me and want to buy some finished stuff, then come out to Landers. Yes, I know it's 30 miles. Will I make it worth your while? Probably. I can't answer that. But I'd love to see ya. So I am out in Landers. Hey, Lise, how are you? I'm out in Landers this weekend. And the cooler will be on blast. So hopefully it'll be cool enough to, you know, survive. So, let's go going on this wobble card. And I love saying that, right? So, get going on the wobble card. I'm going to flip you around and we are going to get to creating. So, hold on. All right, so now we put this up here. In theory, everything should be lined up perfectly. Well, close. Close, right? Close is good for, what was it? Horseshoes and hand grenades? Everything else, not so much. But we can adjust, so it'll be okay. All right. Let's see. Let's see. All right. Yes, I have a pile in front of me. And it is okay. I love having a pile in front of me. That means I'm creating. So, for tonight, we are doing this dancing Hippo card. Yes, they mail. You just got to squish it and stick it in the envelope. Easy peasy, no problem. So we're going to be doing this. So if you look in your celebration book on page 4 and 5, the stamps are for 50 and the dies are for 50. Well, you get them for free once you do a $50 order, I should say, right? So there's that. Here's the dies, and I cut them out for you and put them on this great piece of cardstock. All right, so these are the obvious ones. Here's a lifesaver, not the candy, but like throw it out in the ocean kind of lifesaver, a heart, some stars that are itty bitty bitty bitty, but here's the punch out of them, dragonfly. I might have put that upside down. Anyways, hearts, snorkel with the snorkeling mask, some little like greenery, you know, like not seaweed, I'm trying to think of seagrass, some ocean stuff. Now this only cuts out of the top portion. If you want it to be a piece on its own, you have to cut the sides as well, because it's just the indent and the emboss. Some flowers, the umbrella, sunglasses, some little raindrops. All right, so this, I had to call Stampin' Up! And ask. This is supposed to be a party hat. I thought it was a piece of cheese or a piece of pizza. So this is what happens when you craft when you're hungry, right? So this is a tub, and if you're wondering, this is a boat. Okay, there's little embossing things on here, and that's a boat. I had to call and ask. You're okay. Okay, so that's what we've got for tonight. I'm going to show you how to do this wobble card. So what I already have done, because you know I got to get ahead a tiny bit, right? So watercolor pencils are out. And then hippos, and then I've got dragonfly garden, but anything with like grass or flowers or anything that you want for background, you're good. Okay. All right, so here is the host code for club, the bonus. This is good through the 15th, which I know is like, oh, that we have forever. No, that's not this Friday, but next Friday. If you want the free class and you want it to count and do the $25 order equivalent or the stamp set, this is the code for that, but that's by this Friday, midnight this Friday, okay? The code will close midnight Friday. So, all right, so for this card, let's get to the nitty-gritty, huh? All right, so I already have a thick basic white piece of cardstock cut at 5.5 by 8.5 and scored at 4 1/4. Now, here's the fun part. I don't always cut my stuff straight, so when you fold it over, don't assume your stuff's straight. You might need to trim it a tiny bit, and it's okay, all right? So, I already have my die cuts of my umbrella and my dancing hippo already done. Okay, so now what I gotta do is I gotta trim out everything else, right? So I'm gonna do this one in reverse because you know I can't do it completely like normal, right? Whatever that is. So instead of doing the black, the designer paper, and then the white, I'm going to do this, and then we're gonna do gray instead, and then we're gonna do white, and just see how it looks different, okay? Gotta play, gotta have some fun, right? So this first one is the first layer, and this is 4 by 5 1/4. Oh, I got really, really lucky. I pulled these out of my scrap mats, and I got lucky. So this is basic gray, and this should be 3 3/4 by 5. Man, I got lucky. All right, we'll see if I could do 3 for 3, huh? No, because this one's not good. All right, so this one I'm gonna do at 3.5. All right, well, we got part of it, so that's 3/4 of an inch in from the beginning, and then, oh, I'm just shy. That's gonna stay for scrap. All right, so instead, we're gonna do 3.5 here. Okay. And then we are going to do this at 4 3/4. All right. I was so close. It is so cute. So I have to say, so this stamp set reminded me of my grandma. Why? All right, so if you see my picture on my YouTube channel, you've seen my grandma. Now my grandma, what you don't know, because she's seated, what you don't know is she is literally, how tall? 4'11", I think, you know? And was like 300 pounds. So my grandma, we called her square, not round, because she moved a lot, but she also liked to eat. And then we found out she had thyroid problems, but you know, whatever. So I am stamping my dancing hippo. So my uncle, my mom's sister's husband, yay, I hit it. Awesome. He actually would call my grandma the dancing hippo. And because she was large, but also because she always had a smile on her face. And if you said, hey, I'm hungry, even if you didn't, you better come hungry. It was just my grandma. But she would fix you a sandwich, right? Like anybody would. Now, most people, meat, cheese, maybe a tomato, right? My grandma had the cheese drawer that had like 12 pieces of cheese, or 12 different cheeses. It was crazy. And then on top of it, you had all these different things to like choose from, right? Tomato, avocado, what kind of lettuce, what kind of bread, like 4 different kinds of bread. It was just my grandma. It was just what it was. Everybody stopped at her house to eat. Gee, I wonder why. And here we go, right? So she passed in 2008, but I have to say the dancing hippo stuck, even though she didn't care for it. So I'm grabbing my watercolors to color. I've got my blender pen already in here because I want it to be quick, easy, right? So I'm grabbing my sunflowers. So anyway, but my grandma, you know, my uncle especially, I didn't dare because my grandma would have had my hide, but he always called her the dancing hippo. Hey, can I have a sandwich? And oh, look at the dancing hippo. So it made me smile when this set came out because it reminded me of her. My grandma was the crafty one that brought it out in me. So anything to help keep that memory alive, I just love. So there you go. There's your story for the day, right? So, all right. So if I put brown in the middle, are they, oh, I can't remember what those are called. The sunflowers. Are they Susan, Lazy Susan? No, that's the turny thing. Anyways, you know what I'm trying to say, right? Some green for the leaves. Buckeyes. Anybody know what they're called with the brown centers? Where's my Sandy? She would know. So I'm not coloring the whole thing. If you want to color the whole thing, color the whole thing. But I don't know about you, but you know, I got other things to do, right? And it's just what it is. So I got purple butterflies today because I can. And that's just all there is to it. So notice I'm just kind of scribbling in because that blender pen is going to float all that color for me and it's going to be awesome. No, I did not stamp with Tuxedo Memento Black. Why? Because it just didn't. So if you're careful, you'll be fine. It's okay. So I'm going to grab my gray for my hippo and I'm just going to lightly go. Okay. And then I have to ask you, so what color are my eyes for my hippo? Blue or brown? I guess I should say or green, but you know, I'm just loosely doing. Loosely. All right, I'm not coloring her shirt because we got to do a different color for that, right? Belly's not hanging out, but legs. Okay. Legs. Okay. The umbrella, we're gonna do purple. You can do whatever color you want, but don't be in a hurry because you'll bend the handle like I just did. It's okay. And then we're just gonna color on the handle real quick. Okay. And then, let's see here. I'm not keeping up with the comments. I'm sorry, you guys. I was in my own little world. So, Black-Eyed Susans, thank you. Green, blue. Okay. Green, blue, brown. All right, who's the deciding vote? My goodness. So, all right, so blue shirt. I can have one eye blue and one eye green. I don't think that happens with brown eyes though. I'm not sure. Okay, so tutu's got to be pink though. It just has to be. All right. So like I said, just scribbling in, and then we're gonna have the shoes match. Okay. All right. So now, oh, I never did the eyes. Hello. We're gonna do one blue, and we're gonna do one green. It's okay. It's gonna be just fine. What do they call that? I'm trying to remember where it's one eye is different. I can't remember. There was a name for that. Anyways. All right, so you always want to scratch off to make sure it's clean. I don't know about you, but sometimes I'm in a hurry to go cook dinner or do something else and I'll forget. So you always want to scratch off. And then I'm just gonna float my color. Love that it just floats. If you want a better paper, you could do watercolor paper, but it is what it is. Guess what? The dog needs out. It never fails. 1 second. Go get a refill if you need it. Always with the dog. Always. Yes, there's other people in my house, but he always goes out the front door, except for when I'm doing my live. Like all week long, I will walk from the craft room all the way to the front door to let him out. Except for when I do my live, he will want out the craft room door, even if everybody else is home. Well, hey Gina, how are you, hun? So yeah, he's a hoot and a half. He's got me trained pretty well, we'll just say that. So yeah. So scribbling off here. Gonna grab my green, float my green. Like I said, I'm not coloring all of it. If you want to color all of it, go for it. But I will be honest with you. For those of you that have received cards from me, you will know that my coloring probably does not look patient. We'll just say it that way. Huh? So this is where your hippo's going, so we're going to leave that be. All right, so scratch off. Grab my blue eye, grab my green eye. Okay, I'm going to float my gray. I love these watercolor pencils. It's so easy to look professional. Now with the basic white, you want to keep moving fast so your paper doesn't piddle. But I love how fast and easy this is. I mean, look at that, how much it blended. All right, I gotta clean that up a tiny bit more, but you get the gist of it, right? We forgot to do her fingernails though. What color are fingernails? You're still unpacking. Oh my gosh. What is the difference between watercolor pencils to other colored pencils? Well, it depends on what they're made of. Watercolor pencils are, the pigment is specifically water-based. So that way it floats and you can make it look like a watercolor. Not every pencil has that ability. So it really just depends on what the, I hate to say lead, but I'm trying to think of what the lead is made out of. So for us, it's the same pigment as our water-based inks. Okay, so you really got to look at if it says watercolor pencil or just pencil. But I love the fact that our colors for our watercolor pencils also match all of our other stuff. Go figure, huh? Okay, so we're done coloring. Yahoo! Okay, so now I'm gonna grab, now forgive me, okay? This is a 1-inch punch. I got rid of mine because it retired. You know how this goes, right? Okay. So, grab a 1-inch punch. If you don't have a 1-inch punch, trace a circle, do whatever you need to do. All right, but you need 2 of them, okay? All right. So, here's my 2. We're not coloring them. We're not doing anything. Oh, so much fun. I colored all that before, and I'm so glad you didn't because I ordered it. Okay, awesome. So, red. Okay, gotcha. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I've got a little mini piercing mat, but grab your regular one, whatever you want to do. And then I'm grabbing my take your pick tool. Let me close the box here so it's not up. And I'm just grabbing my piercing part, okay? And I'm going to figure out where I want my hippo to go. Now, to me, she's dancing a little bit. I need some grass down there. So where'd my watercolor pencils go? Let me reach. See, he came back in the other door. So now that I know kind of where my hippo's gonna go, I'm just gonna put some grass down there because I don't want her dancing in the dirt. She's not a desert hippo, right? So, and then we're gonna grab our blender again, and I'm just going to float, float, float. Ooh, I have some pink in there or something. I thought I got it all, but, well, I guess we got some summer grass. It's a little bit burnt. It'll be okay. All right. That's why you got to make sure. All right. And I just grabbed this, so let me put this back at least best I can. All right, so we're grabbing this pierce mat and we're gonna figure out where we want this hippo to go, about, okay? So I'm looking at this and I'm going about even with this leaf, right about there, okay? And I'm gonna poke a hole, okay? We good so far? All right. And then I'm going to put this to the side. Then I'm going to grab my wire. Now, we used to have wire. This is about 22 gauge, if you're wondering, if you want to go buy some. But yeah, it's about 20 to 22 gauge. I'm going to pull some out, probably about 6 inches, give or take. Depends on how many and a wire snips you're going to need. You do not want to do this with your scissors. It will destroy them. Why do I know that? Funny you should ask. And that's all I'm going to say. So, if it can be destroyed, I have probably tried. So you need the tear and tape for this. I have found this is the best, but you can do whatever you want. Now, the reason I punched out the 2 circles is because that wire has to go through this hole, right? Now, I can try to tape it to here and it's still gonna swivel around, but if I have one of those circles to kind of tape it down real super close, it just tends to help, okay? So, all right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm grabbing my tear and tape here. And I'm sticking this through the back here. And I'm bending. And I'm grabbing my circle because I want this like completely anchored on, okay? I want it to really, really, really be stuck. So we're gonna do this. Now, if you've cut your tear and tape too long, you might want to grab a silicone mat or a piece of wax paper so you don't end up with stickies all over the place, but I'll take my risk. But you really want to rub this in because I don't want that wire swiveling, okay? So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab here and I'm gonna straighten out as best I can. Now, if you want to shape this beforehand, you go right ahead. Personally, not so much for me, okay? And what I'm gonna do is gonna grab here and I'm just gonna roll this around to get some shape to it, okay? And then we're gonna shape it more and shape it more and shape it more. This is gonna be our spring or our wobble, okay? So you just kind of, you want about 2 curlicues around. Do you ever do the pastels? I order them but don't know how to use them like I can use with, yeah, there's a video in there. If you search on YouTube for soft pastels under my channel, you will see it. So, all right, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna poke another hole through the middle of that circle, okay? And that wire is gonna come through and then come along the back side of the hippo. I know, all these fun things, right? So now I'm going to let that dangle for a sec. And I'm grabbing my tear and tape again. Now this time you don't want it to be bigger than your circle because you don't have paper to back it, shall we say. But we are gonna put this on here super, super hard. If you do go over, after you peel the tape, make sure, I'm gonna back this wire up a tiny bit because it's hanging over the edge. There we go. Now we're gonna really hunker down on this. If you've gone over it all, just roll it back after you peel it. It'll be fine. And what I mean by that, so if I had an edge hanging out, I'd just bring my finger and kind of roll it back like that, okay? So I've got my wobble going. And then I'm going to stick this onto the back of my hippo. And then you can shape it and mess with it and, you know, squash it and do whatever you need to do to make it work, okay? So yes, I have done a video with the pastels when they first came out. I'm trying to remember when, but if you just do soft pastels in the search, it should come up. If you have trouble finding it, let me know. Not a problem. So we're gonna put this here just like that. I'm gonna actually put a glue dot on the front here and I'm gonna tuck this behind. So we're gonna do this and tuck. If you want to put the handle down, which is what I did on the sample, you can do that as well. I want that to work and not be crooked, but it'll be okay. Okay, so that's how you do a wobble card. It's got a little bit of finesse to it, but it's not hard. So, all right, so let's grab our stamp and seal. But you definitely, those circles make a huge difference on whether or not it stays put. I've done it several different ways and you don't want it spinning on you. So you want to just make sure that you've got that all set and done. Alrighty. Now, I'm not going to put it on there. I'm going to put it on here, but make sure to go a little smaller because it's cut smaller, right? Thank you. I like that it's super cute. As soon as I saw this set, I'm like, I need to do a dancing hippo. Running through the flowers, just enjoying life, right? So shape it however you need to. Notice too that once I put the umbrella on, it's a little heavier on that side, so that's probably why it's tilting. So you just kind of bend and stretch as needed. It's just that simple. So there is my wobble card. Which one do you like better? The black base or the gray? Just curious. And I'm all crooked, but hey, it's all good, right? The lighting's good, and that's what's important. So there you go. All right, so that is what I have for you tonight. Follow me, stampingwithjohnny.com. I will have the full tutorial up for you on tomorrow morning at 9:30 in the morning. I know, I like both too. But it does give a softer look with the gray. So I will put really quickly for you. That is the dies. Now notice I put that backwards. You know, during Christmas time, that can be what? A candy cane as well, right? So, but if you want to take a screenshot, those are the die cuts. So enjoy. Here's the samples again, so you get it all in one shot. And like I said, follow me. Tutorial will be up tomorrow, stampingwithjohnny.com. Have a great evening, and I will talk to you soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.